Brittany's here. Anybody have proxy votes? I didn't get any emails, so I'm assuming not.
Well, what about Randy?
Oh, he will be here soon.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be here soon.
Because he's really the only person
Right.
not represented.
He'll get on and then he'll drive down here. Yeah, as soon as he can. Did everybody get the past minutes? Any adjustments, corrections, problems? Does anybody motion to approve them? Oh, okay. Asia has motioned to approve minutes.
I will second.
Ed is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion's passed. How many minutes passed? Treasury, Ken, you feeling okay to talk?
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I just been on the sideline. I was just a bench.
There you go.
I'm trying to find my meeting. We did at the finance committee meeting last week, and there's notes that were
Week before last.
On the 31st.
2 weeks ago, yeah. There's not a whole lot on here. The financial state is pretty much what it was last month. $181,811, $181,811.25. Between the cash on hand, the checking accounts, and the savings account. So it's pretty boring this month.
Okay, thank you.
Maureen is good.
Finance report?
I'm just pulling up, I don't see it. Going to my other emails. So. Okay. So, finance committee met on
August 31st.
August 31st. We reviewed the finances that we've had so far. We didn't get the full month because obviously we met before the month ended. We discussed balanced billing to get a more regular payment on what our MDU and Xcel Energy bills would be. So instead of them spiking up and going back down, we do recommend switching to balanced bidding if we would like to vote on that.
Okay, does everybody understand what balanced billing is, and does anybody have any questions about that?
Basically what it is, we take for the last 12 months, they take the total that we billed and add it all up and divide it by 12. And the idea is that you, like I said, you eliminate those spikes. Our MDU bill has been bare minimums the last couple of months because we're not using any heat. That'll spike up in the winter time. So take those spikes down a little bit, just do balanced billing, and pay approximately the same amount every month.
I would move. I would move that we go ahead and do the, at least it's consistent and we can plan better as to what the expenditures would be month to month.
So pretty much this is just gonna help us with budgeting.
I
Yep.
second.
Asia moves that we do balanced budgeting. Lynn seconds. All those in favor? Okay, motion carried. Ken, I'm assuming you're able to take care of that?
I checked on MDU, I can do it in about 5 seconds.
Perfect, thank you.
And then as we stated at the last board meeting, we were gonna discuss budgeting. So we're in the starts of trying to figure out what a yearly and monthly budget would be for the theater. We also reviewed some of the costs for proposals that were obtained by Randy and Nancy associated with bathrooms and commercial doors being addressed first. And we thought that the board should consider if we want to use savings to pay for these items or to obtain grant funding to cover the costs. We also discussed financial report for the arts, the $5,000 received from Arts Midwest, because something that we were budgeting before didn't quite make up for the full 5,000, so we're looking at using utilities to cover the rest of that, just to make sure that we don't have to pay that money back. And yes.
Going back to the business about the reviewing the proposals, we came up with the idea that doing the bathrooms downstairs first, and then the security doors for the basement in the back was second importance, and then the windows in the green room would be a third importance. And whether or not we go for grant money or not, the question kind of became, do we invest in starting it right away? We may or may not get grant money, but these things still need to be done.
So I guess that's the question to the board is, do we wait around for the grant money to start these projects? First would be the bathroom downstairs. One would be converted into a laundry room and one would just be updated. And the second is the two doors, the back by the green room and the same downstairs. Or
Not by the green room. It's not the green room door, it's the
Right.
two downstairs in the back. There's an access one to the street, and then it goes
No, not that one.
downstairs.
Not that.
No, Lynn, it's the two ends of the building, one on the up, one by the green room, one upstairs.
What about the one that's going into the basement downstairs that wobbles, that is rotted from the inside?
That's the one.
But what about the one at the head of the stairs that has the rusted out bottom?
I don't know if that was addressed, maybe Randy.
We can ask Randy.
We'll
if he gets here, but
look
if that
at
was
the
put on-
proposal again.
Yeah,
Because the one up on the stairs, there's not really anything wrong with it.
this one.
The green room door.
What was do you remember? Off the top, he's on his way right now, but. Do you remember, Ken, or not?
I don't remember the details.
So, Heather,
Yes, this is Randy.
it was for the inside door downstairs and then the upstairs door by the green room going outside.
What's wrong with that door?
Other than it's old and it leaks and it's, it needs to be updated, I guess.
Because the downstairs access to the outside in the back, that door is completely rusted and rotted out on the bottom.
Okay, so when I got that email, that it was two doors that I got quotes for that was on that email. We didn't look at that outside one.
I think we need to take a look at which doors we're talking about, because there's two outside doors and one interior door. And I think we're getting confused with which are the outside doors, so we need to
Then
look at
maybe,
those.
maybe we should consider looking at a quote for getting all three doors then, if they all need updating, before we proceed any further with
Yeah,
that.
perfect.
Okay, let's see, where was I now? Arts Midwest.
We're still back to the bathrooms though.
Right, so what are the thoughts on spending the money that we have like in savings or set aside to do the bathrooms, or to wait till we get a grant?
Well, the recommendation from the finance committee was to obviously tackle the bathrooms first, and if I remember correctly, we considered spending the money now that we have now to get it started, and also applying for a grant and then reimbursing that within the grant money that we receive.
And I agree with that idea because it's something that has to be done, whether we get
Yeah.
grant money or not.
Right.
Correct? So what difference does it make?
Nancy has a question.
Nancy?
What dollar amount are we talking about?
I don't,
Ken, do you have the paperwork
I-
handy? Because I didn't bring it this time.
I do not.
I just took it out and put it on my couch. Randy, do you have those numbers off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, I can try and find it before I get the.
should we circle back to that then?
Yeah.
Let's-
Okay.
We'll circle back.
Okay, and then we also discussed, about the blueprint plans, for updating the building. Because obviously, we have not received any word from the people who were going to do the blueprints for free.
We actually just did
Oh, okay,
on Friday late afternoon. I can talk about this, Randy. if you want.
okay, then I will put that on hold until we get down to building repairs. And, that's about everything, other than the parking lot, which we discussed for a while. That's about everything that we discussed at the finance meeting. And I have the meeting notes if anybody wants to see those.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go back to the bathrooms when Randy gets there.
Okay.
COVID committee. Katie?
You're muted.
Can't hear you, Katie.
I haven't started talking yet.
Okay.
Because sorry. I was trying to find the agenda and I lost you guys for a sec there. COVID committee, and I am super sorry, but we have not met. I guess I didn't call a meeting.
Is it
I
because
don't
of
know why I was
COVID?
waiting.
It's not like we needed one. We
Yeah,
already
that's
did
it.
everything.
So I guess, I'm not sure, a meeting probably is necessary, but, and on Saturday, we need to start doing the COVID cleaning for the show. So any of the items that y'all were talking about needing, we kind of need those by
Right.
Saturday.
By this Saturday, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well then I will get with my committee and are we supposed to just go out and purchase that stuff? Do I take somebody that has access to the checkbook or credit card, or what's your suggestion?
Whichever is easier, you can check out the credit card, right, Ken?
Yep.
And do it
Okay.
that way, that might be
Okay.
easier. If you want to meet me sometime, you can, or.
We're talking
Yeah,
about days,
then-
flights, things like that, right?
No, I have
Oh,
something
you
to
have
say.
one? Oh,
I
okay.
have something to
Yes,
say. We don't need everything on that list.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just need the specific things that we need for the movie. Because one of the things we don't need is the divider, the
Right, we don't
plexiglass
need to
divider,
open
because it's not, box office isn't going to be open. So the first thing we need is a list of the things that are absolutely needed so that they can be purchased.
Yeah.
And then we need a list of the people who are gonna come in and do the cleaning.
Okay, so maybe we can meet, maybe shortly after this meeting if people are available, so that we can go over what we need to purchase before we go. Does that sound okay?
Okay.
Sound good? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll just do that and, take care of it, and we'll have it all set and ready to go for Saturday.
Perfect, thank you very much. Grant? Is Kathy there?
Not sure exactly where she is, I think she's waiting on any decisions on the upgrades.
Okay,
As to what
where to go next?
apply for.
Okay, that makes sense. I think he's walking in right now, building repairs. That would be Randy. Run a little faster.
Well, you could jump to social media since she's here.
All right, there we go, social media.
Nothing significant on social media. The sooner I can get the promotional information for each of the events that we've got going on, the better, so that we can start putting information out there about them. I also want to do some little promo videos, hoping to get one done this week, so we can include the movie and talk about the comedy night that's coming up. kind of do a twofer, so like September, October in one, November, December in one. So those people who are planning the November, December one, I've got most of the information for September, October. If you can send me information, whatever information you've got that needs to be included, promoted. I know the Deck the Halls thing,
Stage.
Deck the Stage is more of a show type thing. So, you know, what kind of information do we need to push out for the kids and things like that for when that's getting started. So the sooner I have that information, the sooner I can start putting it out there so we can have a lot of participation.
Do
in
you
these
want me
events.
to just tell you?
If you could email me, that would be easier.
Easier?
Yes.
I have a question, Brittany, for you.
Yes.
You know, way back when, you know, we got some, you know, because Olson, I talked to Megan Olson has kind of taken that over. And that they were gonna sponsor the Missoula
Mm-hmm.
children's thing. And I kind of, you know, just sort of apologized, we hadn't gotten back sooner. But I said, well, we got this 2-for-1 thing. You get to sponsor the Christmas show with the kids, and then we'll let you sponsor the Missoula too. You know, but
Right.
does anybody have that, their promo stuff? You know, their, what they want on their logo or
I,
where
nothing
that
was
is
I don't have
sent,
anything, so.
Sent to the office.
I never saw anything. And
yours-
Holly,
Yeah,
I know that they were her initial thing was she wanted to sponsor a youth program.
right.
And it was originally going to go to Missoula because of it being the next youth thing coming up, but then it was canceled. So now the next youth thing coming up is Deck the Stage, which would be what they would be sponsoring.
Right.
Why
Well,
would,
I realize that, but it doesn't mean we can't have more, sponsors for Missoula.
That there'll be another
I just-
opportunity
Well,
to sponsor it, is what she said.
right,
It was kind of good.
but my question then is, are we talking the same contribution amount that she gave, covering two things?
Well, yes, but, you know, she's only really getting half because we're only doing 3 nights instead of the second weekend too. You know, so
But that should not
I
really.
realize that we're down money, but at the same point, it's also taken us a while to kind of decide what to do with this, so. Anyhow, that's kind of where I left it with them, that they, but I kind of think that somewhere along the line, what they wanted for their artwork is, I don't know. It came with the note from Kathy.
Like their logo or what they
Oh,
want on the
I-
poster.
I never saw anything. It-
Nobody
No,
saw
that's
that?
anything.
No. I don't know who got the letter. It was-
Either.
It will have to look
You
at.
know.
I was read the letter. I saw the letter, but I never saw the information they sent.
We might ask her for
I can look through my file, see if it's there.
What's that?
I can look through my files and see if I can find anything.
Okay, and will you let me know, and then if not, I told her, well, in the confusion, we may have lost it.
Yeah.
It happens.
But
So
it's
she
Olson
said that was
Family-
why she would get more.
It was Olson Family Dentistry, right?
Right. Hmm?
If they have a website, we could probably grab a logo right off that.
That's true.
Nope, that's kind of the big thing, so.
People
just
like
getting the
Nice
information
Impressions
quickly,
too,
so.
may have their logo. Nice Impressions or, Lowe's Printing.
All right, thank you, Brittany.
But will they just give it to us?
Yeah, they'll let you use it, you're doing print for them for their sponsorship.
Okay.
But if it was designed by Nice, they may not be willing to give it up. Nice might not be willing to give it up.
I've gotten
You
logos
usually
from
have
them
to get it
before.
directly from the person who owns it, which would be the dentistry office.
Right.
Yeah,
That would be the best.
Okay,
They can give
well,
nice
if you don't
permission.
find it, then I'll
Okay.
go ahead and recontact.
Just go to www.mynotsmiles.com.
www.minusmiles,
Yep, all one word.
okay.
So you're copying it off their website is the same as this, but actually it'll be better.
Okay.
Let's go back to building
The
repairs.
same logo that's on the front of the building.
Okay. All right, Randy's here to talk about building repairs.
Okay, so the cost of the bathrooms downstairs is $2,886. And that includes, supply and install 2 floor mounted flush valve toilets, seats and valves in unisex bathroom. Install new door lock hardware, eliminate partitions, remove urinals and cap plumbing, install new washer box. So that would be for washer and dryer. The one thing they didn't include in that bid is a dryer vent out the top, but that could be more of an issue.
We
Yeah.
talked about an
We could-
interior,
Dryer
Dryer
box.
box.
vent, Yes.
would there be
Randy, I
elect-
found a dryer vent, that's meant for like apartments and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like less than $20.
Yeah, it's just a little box that catches all the lint.
Yeah, it's not as if it's a place that we're using constantly.
Right.
Right.
And the only reason for venting it exterior is if you're doing huge amounts of laundry and you want to get that humidity out.
Is there electric that can handle the washer and the dryer in there? Did anybody notice that?
I don't know.
Because you do need to plug those in,
So
so we may have
we'll have to
to,
look at that.
look at
Yeah.
an electrician for that.
But, and then obviously we'd have to find a washer and dryer.
We do have a washer down there, that was a working washer when we brought it in.
Okay.
But even if we then hired, if that doesn't include an electrician, we brought an electrician in, we're looking at less than $5,000 to convert those.
Yeah. So, and then in the unisex, that would be updating the plumbing in there as well, because I know Ed, we took a look at that, and that is, if you touch it, you're gonna have to replace it, so.
It is some old pump.
So any thoughts, questions for Randy about the bathrooms?
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture it. Can you draw me a mental picture of it? I can't visualize.
So, of the bathrooms downstairs?
Right,
Okay.
right. So the first one I'm looking at is currently the ladies. What happens to that?
Okay.
Then I look at what's the men's, what happens to that? Just help me.
Okay, so we'll talk to ladies first. The ladies' room, you're gonna remove the 2 existing toilets and put in toilets that work, and they're gonna fix the plumbing. And then they're gonna install new hardware on the door, so that you can put occupied or whatnot in the first one.
Now, are we talking about the, main door coming in or the individual stalls?
It should be the individual stalls. I don't think we want a lock on the outside.
No, I don't think so either.
So,
Yeah,
that's where I think you want the occupied locked door on the stall itself.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then.
and that becomes a unisex bathroom. Because we don't use the downstairs bathrooms that often.
Okay, so that is bathroom number 1. The second one, the men's room, that's where they're gonna remove the partitions and open that kind of up. And I suppose we could do that ourselves and remove some of this cost if we got some volunteers to come down and take those out. And then they're gonna remove the urinals and cap the plumbing in the wall, so then that is not exposed anymore. Install a new washer box, so you have your hot water and cold water right there in your drain. So that's what we'll have. We're leaving the sink in there. I don't see any reason why we would take that sink out of there. So.
So that partition is just that partition between the stall, on either side of the stall in what is now the men's bathroom?
Yeah, because what you have, Yeah, you have 2 urinals, and you have the 1 toilet, and then on the very inside stall is just the plumbing that is exposed up. And so we would just remove those partitions, because I don't think they need to be there. And
And
just
the
open that up
toilets.
to where you could put build a little shelf in there or a counter, so whoever's doing laundry can fold right there and not have to try and find a space, so.
So that bid of 2886 is all the labor and all of the fixtures?
Yes,
And is there a timeline?
no timeline until I call and say, let's do this, and what's the timeline?
We have to decide if they're gonna start now or start once we get a grant, so there is no timeline as of right now.
So I need a vote on whether we're going to go ahead with it
I
or,
want a motion that we go ahead, and if we get a grant, great. If not, it's something that I believe we need to do anyways. And we have the money in our account. It's not gonna harm us to do this work.
Correct.
And I believe we will benefit from it. So I will motion that we move forward.
I'll second.
okay, so Ed's motion that we go ahead with the money we have currently. Aisha's second. All those in favor of doing the bathrooms downstairs?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain? All right, motion carried. Okay, so I'm assuming you, Randy, will
Yeah,
go
so
ahead
I
and
will
contact.
call them tomorrow.
Next thing on the list was we're gonna wait on the doors until you get a third quote, I guess? Yeah.
I think it would behoove us to get another quote to include all 3
all three.
doors.
Well, I think we can go take a look at it tonight and see what we're dealing with on that exterior door.
We
So,
still gotta get a quote, so we may as well table.
Oh, sounds good. Is there anything else in the building? Oh, yes, go ahead with the,
oh,
Oh,
yes, so, at first I went through JLG. They were going to do the pro bono work for the drawing. It took them about a month and a half to finally get back to us. I have not called him back yet. I know Kenny called down here and left a message. I haven't called him back because I wanted to see what the board wanted to do. They've been very slow and unresponsive after multiple phone calls and emails. So I went ahead and got a hold of Ackerman and Esticold. I'm probably saying it wrong. but-
Ackerman.
Anyway, they came down and within a week, they came down, took a look and got us a bid. It would be $4,500 to come in, do all their homework, do a drawing for us, but that leaves us with no strings attached. There's JLG. If we did go with them, it's pro bono for now, but then when we got the money and ever decided to do something, we would be in a contract to where we had to use them. So I don't know which way you guys wanted to go. I know that's spending money versus waiting around and doing pro bono stuff, but that's where we're at with that. So looking for your guys' input.
My opinion would be I guess I'm left with a more of a sour taste with JLG from how long it's taken them. And I believe it would be better for us to have a plan that we can start promoting and start asking for donations or applying for grants or, something that we can promote at shows for people that, this is what we want to do. We would really appreciate donations and get the footwork started on that. I know that the 4,500 is kind of a hefty bill, but I'm not familiar with what these normally cost in the market. I guess I'd either refer to either Randy or Aisha about, does 4.5 seem like a reasonable amount?
I do have one question of the board members. Is everybody aware of what we're talking about here?
okay, we're talking about the facade, the front of the building?
No, redoing the lobby.
Yes.
Right.
No, it's
And-
both.
And the facade?
Yes.
And the lobby, like gutting everything and redoing it, moving the concessions, moving office, moving bathrooms, making it more open so we can hold more people in the lobby and not be squished, making it so the bathrooms are accessible in the front so that patrons don't have to go into the house before we're ready for them, you know, the concessions, so it's out, maybe they can have concessions while they wait, stuff like that.
Yeah, so and this all, I guess, really got started when Kathy was asking for ideas and bids, etc. So, and, yeah, brick and mortar, and I don't know, Ken, if you have any more, you can elaborate on that, but that's kind of what got everything started.
This has actually been kicking around for 2-3 years already. It resurfaced when the availability of grant funds, there is some money probably available through the State Commerce Department for Main Street development. And some of the grants for that are pretty substantial. And it is set up for the purpose of improving the businesses.
That would be us.
That would be us.
Lynn, you have something?
I have one question that I have in kind of semi-opposition to all of this right now, and it's the timing. Because you're talking about starting to ask our patrons for donations and encouraging them to give money towards this thing. I'm not sure if this particular season is the right season to start doing that. Because I don't know, we don't have a clue what kind of patronage we're going to get for our ghost season. We may get 10 people in for every show. Trying to start promotion for something big right now might not be the timing. And I'm not saying don't do it overall, I'm just not too sure about the timing.
I'm thinking this is probably a minimum of a 2-year process of fundraising. I would think that's probably a minimum unless somebody comes in and drops a lot of money on us. We have to start somewhere. And what we would get for that money, for the $4,500, is we would get plan. We would get the really nice artist conception renderings of what it would look like. You know, really a first-class presentation. And these kind of things have to start somewhere.
Maybe it was already said, but, and I guess Ed kind of said it too, I think, but this being our, and it's not called a fundraiser season, but, you know, making money, you know, when we're not spending a ton of money, and having that out in our front lobby, this beautiful, you know, drawing, kind of what they do it for churches and stuff, you know, like, this is what we want, but we're gonna raise the money first type of thing. Like, this might be a good season to have that out there, you know, see what, yeah, Nancy?
I agree, the project is wonderful, and it is something we talked about probably since we moved into the place, you know, so talked about. Certainly timing probably is never an opportune time. Sometimes you just have to strike while maybe we have time to think about it. My question is, I'm not familiar with cost. Has anybody had experience with architects and $4,500 to draw a picture? I mean, help me, is that?
So it's actually more than a picture. What they do, and Ken was at the meeting with me, they go to the city, they pull all the permits, they look and they come in and they see, okay, so you're gonna have to get this permit, that permit, this is what you're gonna run into. This is a low bearing wall, you can't touch that. So it's more than just a drawing. It's a bid of, okay, this is gonna cost you for the facade, X amount of dollars, and this is what project A would be. And then throughout the process, they are also, I guess, kind of the overseer. They line everybody up and they make sure they work with us hand in hand to make sure everything's being met to our expectations. So, I mean, it's more than just a drawing. you know, and if anybody else has any other ideas of what they do, I know they do a lot of homework, you know, on their end, so.
So if you're talking, was it 4,500?
Yeah, 4,500 for the facade and the lobby.
Quite honestly, that's nothing. I've seen it $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 for architectural drawings. Where are they going to structural? So that 4,500, they're not doing it free, but they're not charging you what they could.
If I could just say, Summer Theater has JLG, and we have, I have all the renderings of that. If anybody wants to see what kind of stuff is involved in a rendering, I can certainly share that with you guys.
It worked out well for them.
Yeah, yeah, that capital campaign is working out well, so.
Yeah, they've gotta see it in order to believe it and support it.
Right,
So that rendering is important.
So that's the other thing
That's-
Kathy said is, when she goes for the grants, she can't go for the big money without a plan. You know, if Kathy writes a grant and says, hey, we want X amount of dollars, and it has nothing to back it up, I guess it shows that, you know, we're committed to raising this money, we're committed to, enhancing the theater, and, you know, here's what we have so far. And then the people with the grant money can say yay or nay on whether we get it or not.
So with the plan comes an estimate of the overall cost to be done the way it's drawn?
Yes, and it comes with blueprints as well.
But I'm assuming this would be Ackman and Espel's estimate. While if they do up the plan, we're not stuck with them. If we wanted to go to the other construction companies around and say, here's what we want to do,
Yeah.
here's the concept drawing, the blueprints, all that, they could say, hey, we can do that for $10,000 less.
Whereas
The
with
difference
JLG, we have to go with
Whoever
who they pick.
Yeah.
They're not a general contractor. They don't do the general contracting. They will assist us, they will, in the bid process, they'll assist us in evaluating bids. A lot of hand-holding along the way. And they'll work with us on design. They'll present their thoughts. We can look at them, we can tweak them, adjust them as, within reason, as to what we want.
Does anybody have experience working with them or a company along these lines? I just don't have the experience. I'd be overly ignorant.
Are we discussing JLG or Ackman Espel?
Either one, with
Either or,
working with an
different
architectural
company.
firm and then carrying it on.
I know Ackman Asphalt is working with the city on certain projects.
know
I just recently
I
heard
see
it on
Discovery
radio.
Center.
Yeah,
And they're also really, involved in the downtown area.
Correct. They're doing all of the buildings in the downtown area, including the ones that street from us. So they're very experienced. You're gonna need an architectural firm, no matter what you do. One is gonna be free, but good luck hearing from them. And then you have to use them in the remodel process. So when that ceiling comes down, it's JLG that's pulling that ceiling down or paying the people that have. Whenever you do that, you actually pay them like a finder's fee. So you're gonna pay for the contractor, then you're gonna pay JLG for lining up the contractor, and that's gonna be with everything. The electrical, the plumbing, the walls, the paint, the flooring, everything. These other guys, you're gonna pay them $44,000 up front, but now you can get your own contractors, you can get your own bids, they'll even recommend, they've got people that they use. Now you're free to do whatever you wanna do.
And we might be able to do some of the work,
Ourselves.
Okay, that makes sense, thank you. So if we have a person on our board then who knows enough about what would happen once the rendering took place to coordinate, to be the building, bidding, all that coordinator.
You can also hire a main general contractor that will do that. So in other words, if you hire XYZ Construction we'll coordinate. I need the plumber on this date. I need the electrician on that date. But you gotta get the rendering to first see what we're gonna do, get the money because of the rendering, and then we'll have the money to do the project.
Like I said, I see this as a minimum of the 2-year project,
Sure.
and most of that is fundraising. I don't see a single hammer swinging. So,
It's gotta start with the rendering, with the
2020.
time, with the,
you start with the plans, you do the groundwork, get all the planning done. And when the money is in place, then you say go.
And Kathy was saying that, you know, even this 4,500, we can always put that into the grant too, like
To recoup.
to recoup that money, so.
If it's a grant that requires a match, that's part of our match.
Also, they said if you want them to come down and explain any part of their process, they will be more than happy to come to one of our board meetings and answer questions or, before we move forward. So that's an option too, if you want to go that route, but it's, I guess.
And they take all of our ideas, it's not like they'll just, here, this is our drawing, they'll take what we want and build it, if they can, if it can be done. So, any other questions or?
It's the question of the $4,500.
John, what do you think about this? What do you think about this, John?
Oh, I think it's great. Ken and I have mulled this over a lot in the past. And Ken has climbed around up in the ceiling above the lobby area, and that was all added on to the original building. So, it's very, very important that we find out if everything is structurally solid and what's weight bearing, and it might surprise us to know what is up to code and what's not, and all that good stuff. And I think we need to be sure to add some kind of a marquee to the project. I don't know whether that would be some kind of electronic thing or an old-fashioned like thing, but I think that would be really, really wonderful.
all right, and that would be the time to do it, because that rendering would be on the front of the building.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Asia would be a good one.
Hey, John, how are you?
So is there a motion that we continue with the $4,500 with Ackerman and this?
Yeah.
I make a motion that we continue with getting the rendering for the plans to change the building.
Okay, so Aisha's motion,
I'll second.
Oh, you
Holly's-
can actually.
I feel like everybody
I heard
wants
Holly.
raises.
Was I faster?
Holly, second, Aisha, motion, Holly, second. All those in favor of going ahead with the $4,500 rendering?
Aye.
All those opposed
I abstain.
and abstain?
That's me.
All right, motion has carried. Randy, will you go ahead with making
Yep.
that phone call as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right,
You have the form, Randy, the letter that has to be signed?
No, that was for JLG.
No, there was a letter. There was a letter with the proposal.
Oh,
to be
I guess I'll have to-
signed by the board.
I'll give
okay.
you
Well,
another one.
I'll go back and I'll contact, Kimberly, I think her name was. Yeah, so,
okay, box office?
Jessica,
okay, Jessica, yep.
Jessica,
Awesome.
and Paul.
Box office, Ken?
Not much to tell.
Okay. That's good. All right, upcoming shows. So our next one is September 26th, and that's when we're gonna do Casablanca. We're doing 2 shows, one at 3 o'clock and one at 7:30. So we have time to do a deep, clean all the touched areas and, get it ready to go for the next showing. It's Free Will. Courtney did an amazing job of posters for us.
Just a little thing with that poster, the basic background of the poster is going to be reusable for any subsequent movies that we do. All we need to do is print up a small poster for whatever the chosen movie is, and then little mini informational bits for the date and the time. But the poster itself is reusable.
So don't throw it away, anybody. It's great. So we're going to have a work/cleaning party on Saturday, this Saturday, the 19th. The 19th at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's when Randy will have some jobs from the summer cleaning list, ready to do. And I'll have lots of cleaning for anybody who would like to come and help. And we'll get it ready for the following Saturday. Yes, so I guess that's it. With that, comedy night, that's what, October 17th?
October 17th at 7:30. There is a post already on social media for people to sign up to be a comedian. So if we have any aspiring comedians here, you're more than welcome to submit a registration form. I will.
That's awesome, ever.
Cool beans. Well, come tell some jokes. So I will be reaching out to a couple of businesses and see if we can have some donations or some sponsorships for that. And I will be hopefully selecting judges here shortly. So the ball is rolling. So I'm turning back now.
Exciting, thank you.
Don't forget to contact somebody about creating a poster.
Yes.
House. Lynn and Nancy both have stuff to talk about.
Do you want to go first, Nancy, or you want me to?
Sure. Lynn will have, I think, a more substantial, complete report. Tim and Lynn have been so very, very busy and just have done some amazing things truly in the last month or so. In the library, just a note for everybody, there are many 3-ring binders. So if you need a 3-ring binder for a show or for, whatever reason, but there are so many of them in the library, so please know that they are there. In the padded room, I labeled any posters that are rolled up so we know what they are without unrolling all of them. And they're in a bin. And then I put wrapping paper in a bin, and I also put plain rolls of paper in another bin. That's all in the padded room. I know sometimes you look for paper for background for bulletin boards and that kind of thing. So that's just a little bit of what I have. But Lynn and Tim have done so much, so they can carry on.
Well, first of all, I want to say it isn't just Lynn and Tim. They've been doing a lot of work. I have to also give recognition to Heather and Randy and their family and to Nancy, because between us, I think we've pretty much done the bulk of the stuff that's been accomplished here this summer. I will send out a finalized list of all the things that was accomplished on the summer cleaning list. Everything from the prop rooms have been purged and revamped and reset up and labeled. If you go into the prop room and you disturb something and you don't put it back in the right place, you might just find yourself being hit in the head with a 2x4. It was quite a challenge to do. It would be really, really nice if the board would take the time at some point, maybe on Saturday when people come to help clean, to do a walkthrough of some of the particular things that have been accomplished. The downstairs prop room and the rehearsal room being two very, very important points. The purging and labeling of the available paint that we have for productions. We have the doors on the back of the seating have been replaced. And we have the backstage bathroom that has been painted. We have the back area going into the green room. The hallway back there has been incredibly redone and it looks beautiful. There are always more projects here to do, small ones and big ones. I can continue to keep a list if we wish to do that. And that way, if somebody's got an afternoon or a weekend, or, you wanna pull your husband in and say, hey, I need your help, whatever the case might be, we can keep a list posted of things that can be done. It's an ongoing project. It used to be the labor temple, it's our personal labor of love nowadays. Right now, the other day, I walked into the green room and I went, yeah, this place could use another paint job. But I'm not sure I want to get started with that at the moment. Thank you to those people who did take the time. I would like to encourage those people who did not have the time during the summer to help out, to be the ones that step forward to do the cleaning before the shows that we are going to be doing, because that will be a more limited thing, but it will be every bit as important.
And I'm really allergic to cleaning supplies for real, so it'll be helpful to have some people to breathe in.
That's the update on the summer cleanup. Next week, not this week, but next week is the citywide cleanup. Tim and I are going to be coming in on Saturday, the same Saturday as the movie, and taking all of the old paint that is downstairs, and we are going to take it to the hazardous waste dump. So that will be out of the place. It would be nice if some people who had larger vehicles and City of Minot water bills, if they could stop by at some point during the week and pick up one or two pieces of furniture that we are going to throw out, or we would like to throw out, stick it in their trucks and take it up to the dump. Because it's an opportunity to get rid of a couple of things.
Maybe this weekend we can put it in the lobby or put it up front here so people know exactly what.
Which things, but we don't want to move it unless we know we've got people who are going to do that.
Yeah.
Tim can't, he doesn't get home in time during the week.
Yeah.
So.
Amy had her.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm so sorry. I won't be able to make it on Saturday. I'm in grad school and I have class from 9 to noon. And then we are headed out of town after my class. My class is online because our instructor has COVID, so our class is online. So I will try to get during the week, for the next couple weeks, works perfect for me to get in there, but I have every intention of helping. It just doesn't work out for me for the next 2 Saturdays. I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that.
As long as we can probably get the cleaning, somebody could bring the cleaning
Yes.
supplies down or something, so.
I'm grounded until Sunday.
Yeah, you stay away.
No, I'm fine. Theoretically exposed to somebody who tested positive, but it was in a campground and it was a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing. I think I'm pretty safe.
Oh,
Well, I
You have a truck and trailer and a water bill.
there you go.
So if you could,
Leave the garbage.
so
Need a water with what?
Well, I
Access to
don't
the
have
city
water,
dump.
but I have city sewer and garbage pickup, so that works.
So if you have a water bill, that means you can take something to the dump for free?
next week, during next week,
Starting on Monday?
Oh.
starting next Monday, not today, next Monday.
They also have, they're gonna have curbside pickup in,
Residential areas.
Only in residential areas.
Residential areas, yeah. I have some stuff that I get around.
Oh, yeah, so do I.
All right, moving along. So we'll see you all that can on Saturday. I'll send out a reminder on Friday night, okay? Concessions. It's okay. Concessions, I think we're okay for this, for the movie, right? We got everything for the movie in there. It's pretty well stocked, but I did have in the new business we could talk about here. Like if you are at Menards or if you are at the grocery store, and I'm not asking you to do it all the time, but every now and then Menards has like water for $1.80.
$2.98 for 36.
Yeah, something really cheap. So maybe you just throw one in your cart or something. And that could help us keep it stocked without, MRP always going out and having $100 bill for waters and pots and stuff. And then we can just, profit more on that. And if we chip in a little bit with the concession area.
If there's anything specific that we need, I can always check the commissary.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, mainly sodas is what kind of adds up fast if,
Water and Coke products.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're going to start having a list in the concession stand of our supplies that we need to keep on hand. So if somebody happens to be here, you check in there and you can see, oh, we need another thing of coffee, or we need some sugar packets, or we need root beer.
Kids program, Holly, anything new?
Yep. Well, the programming themselves or the education thing, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But I figured probably Deck the Stage sort of counts as part of that. Because it's the youth show. So I plan to have auditions probably Sunday, November 1 and November 2. And basically I need, kids from 2nd grade up. So, and they'll be in sections, so they don't come all the time. Figured I needed about a month to kind of get it pulled together. But my goal, of course, is to make money, so.
And when is your show? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's December 20th, or no, 12, 13, 14, or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Let me look. Oh, 11, 12, 13. Kent said for a little money, extra money, we can do the Sunday too, so we are.
Okay, perfect.
We get about a half a run, which is okay, that's plenty. But heaven knows what we're up against, but it doesn't really matter, so. Anyway, it's a cute script, it's,
Okay, Lynn?
crazy people with a bunch of naughty children, so what more can you have?
Question is, will we be having the box office and the online set up for that show?
You asking me?
I'm asking you, Ken, whatever, is this going to be one where we will actually take reservations?
It can be if we want.
Well, yeah,
Something for maybe you and Ken and Holly to discuss and figure out. And then I did have a box office question. We haven't been doing any kind of box office stuff with the ticket company, with the, that we deal with. Have we been paying them anything while we have been dead in the water?
Nope.
Okay.
We only pay them based on tickets sold.
Okey-doke, that's the question I needed answered.
good.
Newsletter,
Anyway, I think probably we'll just go ahead and kind of, I won't probably cast 50 people again. Not this round, but you never know. Anyway, so that'll give kids an opportunity. Don't laugh, Randy.
I told Ed you might cast 48.
Maybe 38, but there's a kid that's come through the door, he needs us.
That's right.
No
All right, newsletter.
matter how naughty.
But what about the one that's dragged in by the parent?
Right, yeah.
Well, that one you gotta feel sorry for, don't you?
Yeah. You can go home, kid.
Maybe-
I feel bad for you. Get out
I'm
of here.
going to haul up to the sound booth and say, learn how to run this.
Okay,
Not
anything,
one of those, I think we could do that.
anything anything with the newsletter or not right now, or?
Well, I'm just wondering if, you know, those promos that, Ed was talking, no, it's Brittany that was talking about the promos
Brittany,
that we were gonna send her,
hold on.
you know, about
Brittany,
paying me.
Holly may have a question here. She's listening now.
Wondering if we could also send it to Ken, okay? And so, like with the Casablanca one, maybe we could have the little promo thingy that goes with the poster, and it could go out, you know. And so keeping our names in, you know, and information, they're kind of short and sweet. We haven't gotten, the headpieces and so on, we haven't got that article in yet, we could probably do that pretty soon. So,
You're talking
still
to
have-
put in the newsletter, right?
Right. You know, and then coming up in October, we can have another one, we can have the promo thing, you know, with, you know, the comedy, maybe a cartoon or something.
Holly,
you know.
I don't know if we understand what you mean by the promo thing.
Well, Ed was talking, was it Ed or Brittany was talking about needing a short paragraph about what this stuff is, you know, what's coming up.
For the movie and for the,
Right, just basic information that
Right.
gets shared out.
Okay, so basic information, not a promotional item.
Right.
Well, could be.
I mean, if people want to put that together, they're welcome to.
You
I'm
know,
not sure
when I
whatever,
put
but-
mine together, you know, I'll, have it more in, you know, teaser form, I suppose.
Well, I can
Right.
send you and Ken the Casablanca, poster thing and then
Yeah.
maybe Ed, when you come up with one, you could send it. Okay.
any information about how it's gonna run or anything that will help sell
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Sounds
I
good.
mean, you know, and then it wouldn't be, you know, 'cause it's not a big deal to send this newsletter out, is it?
it. No, it's just a matter of writing it and putting it together.
Well, right, but if we write it,
Yeah,
we can put it
but
together.
the material, put it together in an hour.
Yeah, so there you go. You know,
That's-
so,
There's 1,300 people on that list yet, so.
well, exactly, and so, and then it can also be connected to the website, and, you know, it's pretty easy advertising in that regard.
Okay,
So
thank
if we
you.
have one per month right before it comes out, you know, that seems like it's kind of a fair deal.
Okay,
Anyway, that's my thought.
fundraising, thing.
I am working on a timeline to get everything done. Are we still doing the 5K? Because I know you said something about having the murder mystery.
That's the same day.
It's the same day, that starts at about, the doors open at 6, so. I know several people are involved with that, so might not be able to volunteer for the other, but maybe two. So it's,
We won't be doing anything here at the theater that day.
Okay.
So, you know, originally there was a thought about a Halloween movie, but that is not going to happen because of the Clarion murder mystery.
Okay. Is that the same murder mystery that we were gonna do?
No, different.
It's not.
And that's still on the horizon. She recontacted me, and since we made that commitment, but I said, you know, March, you come up with a date, and then I'll go take it to the board. I said, our calendar is relatively free. You can probably work around it.
Yes.
So we do have that one to do, but not until March.
So they just pushed it back for a full year?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're still golfing out there.
Right. So yeah, I was working on the 5K, like getting permits and stuff. I haven't gotten any permits because, you know, we've got the murder mystery, would we be able to do both of them in the same day? Cause I was thinking like the 5K would be just in like the morning or.
Good.
How many people would be able to volunteer for it?
Because I think you would need a lot of volunteers.
Yeah, that's my only issue.
Maybe it'd be better to move it up a week or something.
The week before is the comedy,
No, the week
or
before is,
2 weeks before is the comedy.
2 weeks before.
Well.
I know the week
move it
before,
back
Good Night
to
Mayat's
March.
doing a thing.
You could be jumping over, I'm not doing it, but snowbanks.
Yeah, maybe this is something that we could do in collaboration, if we wanted to do a, costume kind of thing, maybe this is something we could do in collaboration with,
With
MagicCon, yeah. Cause that's in the
Okay.
spring, maybe the weather will be a little more decent, cause it got cold early this year, a little earlier than we're normally used to, so we don't know what the weather's gonna be like come up, late October. But I know they do a parade, maybe they'd be willing to do a collaboration with the 5K. MagicCon. They do a little
parade.
They do a little parade, don't they?
No,
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I remember they had a float before, maybe that was just,
it was,
I
No.
thought they did like a cosplay, like a volunteer parade, not like with floats.
yeah, not
No,
a huge parade.
Like
they do a costume parade within the auditorium itself. It's just people showing up in their costumes and walking across the stage.
So, but maybe it's something we could work in collaboration with the MagicCon. We can get people to come out in costumes.
That's gonna be a big event, right?
All right, sounds good. Anything else before I move on?
I know Lynn, have you heard anything else about that, silent auction that you were talking about?
I just threw that out as an idea. I am busy with other things. I was not spearheading it.
And that's all I got.
Season?
I don't think we did
It's dead in the
anything.
water right now.
Courtney made a beautiful poster for it, it was great.
See, basically, the season committee and actually the COVID committee too are pretty much ad hoc that we don't have on a regular basis.
Tenant building.
Nothing new in the Senate building. I did want to do a walkthrough. But
I do have a little something.
yes,
Margie's husband, Ted Bolton, is still kind of interested. He's not like jumping over barrels about it, but he would like to be able to view the apartment before even really going into discussion.
Okay.
He's available anytime during the day and sometimes
do we have
evenings.
contact information for him?
I believe I have his number at home,
Margie's art
or you
store.
go to Margie's.
Yeah, I'll contact Marty's and see if I can set up a meeting with him, but before things start freezing, I would like to do a walkthrough of thing.
Yeah.
And just see if there's any quick repairs or anything that needs to be made.
And actually, our neighbors may be interested, that we're connected to on the other side of us. And I started doing an analysis, and I'm doing my analysis two different ways. One is apartment per door, the other is basically commercial space per square foot. And what I'm coming up with, the average is about 160,000 to 210 is what we could sell for.
So we could sell that building?
Of course you can. What do you think, John?
That would be a really nice start on the lobby project.
It would be.
I would not want to sell
That would be
the Regency.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Just, make sure you get good neighbors.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure the people on the other side are that great at it.
Well, that building's for sale too. All it does is sweeten the pot
What, the Regency building?
over here.
Over
Is
where?
that the
Yeah.
parking lot? Is
The
it?
old, we're talking the old EID building?
They're up for sale. They just remodeled it.
They just
Yeah,
remodeled
that's the best one to
Regency.
sell.
Oh, all right then.
Holy cow.
We should see if the parking lot's for sale.
Yeah, we should investigate the parking lot.
I doubt it. They're selling it as a, yeah, it's a space for weddings and all that, so they've gotta have parking for wedding parties and receptions and.
Well, maybe we'll get, maybe we'll get better neighbors then, and we could come to a deal with that.
Okay, all right,
Maybe make it an insurance part of the thing that we have to be able to park.
John?
Are you on top of the boiler over there?
That'd be awfully hot, you know, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure I wanna.
Yeah, it would be. No, but I mean, I know it gets cold there fairly early, so
I believe the water was shut off because of the last
Okay,
problem we had,
Except to the boiler.
except to the
all
boiler.
pipes are green?
Yeah, I believe Randall had done that. After we made the
I
repairs.
wanna make sure, I make sure.
Yeah, that's why I wanna do it before it freezes, I wanna go over there and check it out, so.
I know the boiler is still on.
The boiler's still on,
then that would mean water's still going to it.
but I believe all the
Draining the
pipes were
pipes might
drained.
be something that someone who knows what they're doing needs to do.
I'm thinking that may have been done, but we'd have to verify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask him.
Do we know if
We
the
can figure it
key,
out.
do we know if the keys will get us in the door still? Because the last two times Tim and I tried to, we couldn't get in.
I went over
Randy tried
there
with
with
the contractor.
every key and we had to go down and around, so I don't know where the keys went, but I tried every key in the lockbox and I could not get in the.
Or maybe
I have a
it's
feeling
time
it got
to
rekeyed.
shops.
I have a feeling it was rekeyed. That a certain person
So-
rekeyed.
If that is the case, I will contact shops and look at getting them keyed again to that, so we have the keys.
All right, sponsorship committee, we're still looking for a chair. Anybody interested in chairing that? Not that you have to do a lot right this minute, but it's not, I'll jump on it. Need a chair? Okay. All right, well, you can just email me privately and let me know that you're gonna be the chair of that. Bylaws committee,
Nothing yet.
Okay.
With everybody away, if this is something that's probably best done in person and until people are ready to be in person.
and then the 50th gala is postponed for now. New business, junior board member application.
Yes, I only received, two people who, made suggestions for changes to the application. Thank you, Lynn, for some wording changes, and, why am I blanking on your name right now?
Who, me?
No,
Katie,
no, not Katie.
Ashley?
Oh my God.
Chris?
Chris. Sorry, Chris. Chris, thank you for the format changes. I just saw it earlier, and I'm like, why can't I think of her name at the very moment? I'm just, mine a total blank. Chris, I apologize for forgetting your name, just temporarily. But yes, thank you very much for the formatting. I submitted, earlier today, I sent out the updated application. If everyone wants to review that, let me know if there's any further changes. Otherwise, if not, I will submit it to be voted on.
Thank you for doing that.
Well, I had a comma and a U needs a Y. Or a U.
You need to use, okay. If you just want to email that to me, where those are,
I can, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I looked at it right before we came on this meeting, and so I wasn't sure that I actually sent anything.
I saved it as a Word document, so anybody can make changes to it and
Yeah,
Email that,
I was able to do that, but I didn't know if they saved. So I'll go back and look at it after we're done.
okay, thank you.
Other than that, I thought it was good.
And then while I have the floor here, I just want to make a note, we did get the ASCAP license canceled. I got the confirmation that that has been canceled.
Okay.
Thanks
That's
for
very
that. All right, we already talked about the next thing, the board donations, water, pop, whenever possible, just to keep us stocked throughout this season and try to keep our costs low here for the theater. The green room hallway that we did, we went to Home Depot to get some carpet for it, and they're like, no, we just can't, donate the carpet right now, and, but maybe we can help you out with a few supplies, and we get up to the checkout, and it's like $100, and she's like, and now take $75 off of it, so, like, to do the whole thing at Home Depot was like $25, it was really nice, so I have a thank you, and it says here sent, and it's still sitting at my house, so I will run it down to them tomorrow. But that was really nice of them to do. And that's the second time, so support Home Depot, I guess, and, or if you're looking for a project, you might check with them, they might be willing to help us out again. Request, is this you?
Yes.
Okay.
Got a really unusual phone call last week from a Jane Summers.
Yeah.
Jane Summers used to do fur and leather repair for Porter Brothers, I think it was, and which became Henson Fur and Leather. Apparently, somebody, and John, you may be the only person who remembers this, somebody about 30 years ago arranged with the Porter Fur people to store about 8 to 10 fur coats down there free of charge. And they have been storing these fur coats for MRP for over 30 years. So this week, I'm going to be calling her and contacting her and going over to Henson's Fur and Leather and picking these up and seeing what they are. But I really would like to be able to thank both Jane for her time and efforts that she's been doing, perhaps with a set of passes when we're up and running again, and maybe doing something for Henson's Fur and Leather, maybe a whole season's worth of an advertising or something, because apparently they've been holding on to these things free of charge for almost 40 years. John, do you remember anything about that?
Oh, yeah, I used to take furs in there to, we had a couple that they stored every year, and they would ask me about them every year, and I'd say, well, thank you for keeping them. I'd say, do you want us to get them out of there? And they said, oh, no, we'll just keep them. So, yeah, they're beautiful. A couple Helene Thodstead had gotten from some of her cronies.
Mm-hmm.
They're beautiful coats.
Apparently, the problem is that Jane is getting ready to retire, and she was concerned that nobody knew anything about it, and they would wind up just sort of being there forever until the place, whatever. So she called, and I'm gonna go and take a look at them, see what the situation is. But because of this generosity on their part, I really would like to do something
Do I need to
for
make a
them.
motion?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I make a motion, we're able to give 2 season tickets to Jane for, Jane Summers for storing the fur coats that nobody knew about except John.
I will second that motion, but I would like to add that maybe we should give them a season of promotion because
And for
honestly, it doesn't
Henson.
cost us anything. So.
Yep, the second part is for Henson.
yeah,
Okay, so
I second that.
Aisha motioned that we do 2 season ticket passes to Jane Summers and a full season of sponsorship for Henson Fur and Leather. Advertising, yeah. Lynn, a second, is that the second?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain? All right, motion carried. Do you, let's see, Ken, who gets this?
Well, I'll
That'll be when the
be
season
talking
starts.
with Jane,
Okay.
and, I'll make sure I have her information and her mailing information and stuff like that, and let her know that once we are up and running with the full season, that she will be getting a thank you.
Thank you. All right, purchase request for nice stickers on the facade.
We had recommended getting 36.
So it was recommendation by the finance committee that we purchase 36, is that what you said?
Yeah, we counted, and I mean, we're gonna be needing think we were gonna be using something like 27, and we thought to get some extras or something like that.
Some extras on hand just in case, any of them need to be replaced again, or, we need to cover new squares for whatever reason.
So that was the recommendation.
Just, there were two different prices, with the acrylic or just the stickers. But which ones were
I
you?
think we had decided on the acrylic
Yeah.
because,
It
so they would
cover
last
the-
longer.
Okay, so the acrylic ones, do you have the price off the top of your head?
I don't, Nancy might. Nancy, do you have the price handy there?
Yes, with the acrylic provided, 30 of them are $227.95. 36, $269.14. I believe I counted currently 28 stickers are on the glass.
And we just wanted some for just in case type of thing. I think was the recommendation, right?
Yes.
So they're talking about the price for the 36, so the $269 one.
Great.
I would like to motion that we go ahead and get these.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Lynn's motion, Randy's second, that we purchase 36 of these facade stickers from Nice. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstain? Motion carries.
Nancy, can you, go ahead and get them ordered?
Thank you, Nancy. We see the head shake. Yep, you're good. All right,
I'm
perfect.
trying to unmute, but I'll do it non-verbal.
Perfect.
Okay, take the credit card when you do it.
They just, is it okay if they bill us?
It's fine, yeah,
They can go.
They bill
Okay.
us, they're good about that.
that's fine.
Give me something to do now that you're retired, Ken.
Okay, so the next thing we already talked about, Ted, so we're good on that.
Yep.
The next thing is the murder mystery dinner, so that's a go. I actually just saw the advertisement that he's going to put out tomorrow. It looks very nice, it has our logo on it. We're doing Murder in Manhattan. It's on Halloween. Doors open at 6, but show doesn't start till 7. 7 to 9 is the show and dinner, etc. We're the entertainment, so I'm still looking for people that want to participate. We can have quite a few. We don't have to have.
So we need a minimum of 10. There's
I'm getting close to that, but we can have up to
Yep,
25.
up
So
to
it's
25,
so anybody who would like to participate, that would be great. She's in. They are giving us $750 to do the show, plus $5 for every ticket they sell. We are not responsible for selling any tickets. They are doing that all. So this is very generous. Plus they're feeding a private dinner to all of our cast. And he would like to see this done every quarter, like a different theme, like around holidays and stuff, maybe one in Valentine's, I think he said, or.
I'd offered
Oh,
Valentine's
yeah.
Day as an idea.
Great
So-
time for murder.
Yeah. So, I mean, $750 plus $5 per ticket is a great fundraising opportunity for us. So, if you're willing to be a part of this, please let me know soon. It's like a 170-page thing that I'm reading through, and it's taking me a little bit of time, but trying to get the people so they can get their characters well in advance so they can learn it. It's all improv. There's not really any script or anything, so you just kind of learn who you are type of thing and go from there. Any questions about that? Okay, so yeah.
If you know anybody outside of the board that might be interested, please forward that information to them as well.
Yep.
Could we potentially put a call out to community actors for that?
I was
On
just
Facebook or?
gonna suggest that maybe we do that, and I'll let her, I know she currently can't hear us, but I will.
You're gonna have, thanks,
Okay.
Brittany.
Just send me the information and when we push out, I love.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so, I saw signing, you said it, or somebody said they wanted to do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, did anybody else right off the top of their head be like, yep, me?
It can, are you signed up?
Katie, you wanna do it?
I probably will. Do I have to die
Put him
again?
down.
No,
They
you
killed
don't.
me last time.
I won't, do you wanna die?
I'll die. I haven't died from one of these yet.
The person who dies actually comes back as a second character, so you're in it. Well, that's,
I'm
I'm not
leaving
supposed to say with the
Helping my
mother.
birth age.
Oh no, someone killed my
Okay,
brother.
Ken, I wrote your name down, you're a solid yes, and Katie, I put your name down as well. Okay, perfect. Next thing on the list, the state of the city, which is on February 2nd, 21, is requesting to use the theater, the lighting, and possibly the black curtains that we have, for renting it. I think that was Janet Anderson's request.
She had put it forward, I believe.
Okay.
I contacted Tim about Light Spirit because that was going to be that would have been the tech week for that if it happened. And he said he's fine with advancing Blythe a week if we can do that. Ken, have we had any progress on finding out about the rights?
It's just a simple matter of going on and applying for them.
Can we get that done for the second weekend of February?
I will get them in, yes.
Okay, because then we can start doing whatever we need to get it up and running. Now,
That's right.
then that leaves the
Okay, so
second
that leaves
available.
it open, as long as Tim's okay with
He's
not
okay
having
with,
the theater
he's
done.
okay with it for that.
Okay, perfect.
So I guess that leads me into my little segue, curtains. Ken?
Let me
No?
just see,
Finish?
let me just quickly finish this.
Okay.
Any questions about this, or? Okay. Is there a motion that we rent it?
I'll, be the representative.
You will be, oh, thank you. Maybe Then will be the representative.
I will motion that we, jump towards this opportunity. I think it's a really good way to get our name out there, for people who may have not been to the theater, and a way to kind of showcase off that, hey, we do have these availabilities, and
Not so much that we want to promote this sort
Yeah.
of thing, but at least to let people know that the theater is here.
It occurs to me it'd be a really nice time to have our renderings on a
It
poster.
definitely
Yeah.
would be great to have it.
especially when we got big wigs coming in, so
Yes, exactly.
get some of that
Okay,
dope money.
so we have a motion on the table.
I'll second.
Oh, I think Katie did it first.
I think Katie did first.
Katie was first.
Second.
Okay, beat me this time. Okay.
Okay, all those in favor of going ahead with the request to rent the theater? All those in favor? Sorry.
Shall we just go with our normal 250 for the evening?
I would think.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All those opposed? And abstain? All right, motion carried. And then did Brittany, do you want to talk to Janet? Do you have?
I'll contact Janet and see where it goes from there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Randy did have something we forgot to mention. Go ahead.
So we had talked about purchasing some new curtains. So like Blythe Spirit set us up right now, getting enough black curtains to close it off to where if we showed a movie or did an event, like having the city come down, that's what you see, and you're not disturbing the set, etc. The ones I found were a whole lot more expensive than what Ken found. So, Ken, if you have those quote, or have that quote.
I don't have the exact numbers, but it was right around $500.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
559.
Because I saw yours from Rose Brand, and that was closer to what we were looking at.
Yeah, so I
I
think
also put it on the quality too.
Basically, what this is they're 10 feet high, they're 20 feet, each unit is 10 foot high, and will go from 4 feet to 20 feet wide. And they're 10 feet high. And they are fireproof curtains. They're the California fire code type thing, so they should be pretty good and pretty strict. But I figured 4 of those units would stretch across, we could fill in the entire stage with wings. All the way across the back and down towards the front, and completely enclose a box set to hide whatever's behind it. And have a black box.
Yeah, so the ones that I found were only 7 feet wide. They were 10 feet high, but 7 feet wide. So, and they were roughly about, I think, $550 to $600. So they're quite a bit more expensive. So I think we should go with Ken's.
At least for the decorative part.
At least for the decorative part. We have
the
heavier
massing.
ones
Yeah,
in back. This is just for covering up essentially. But
yeah.
I think if we're gonna do
Think
them,
about the other thing is they come with stands. It's basically the type of enclosures that are intended for trade shows, conferences, things like that. So
And that's
it's
really all we need for this sort of thing.
and the ones I looked up did not have a stand in it. So
Right, these are
Nancy?
complete with the stand.
And where would you put them when they are not being used, or would they be there permanently?
Oh, no, they're very portable. The standards collapse down to 4 feet. And it's an 18-inch square base. There's, the poles are either 4 to 5 feet long, and they extend. And then
My experience is we got very expensive curtains some time ago that were not well cared for.
right. But these are the types of curtains that are intended to be used for
I have the answer for this.
conferences, trade shows, vendor booths, and things like that. So-
All right, then.
I understand that, just
And I
where they
believe
go.
I believe they come with backing. So they have a backing case.
Lynn has the answer. We're gonna go with Lynn.
I got the answer in both cases. Number one, the curtains that were bought a long time ago, the masking legs, they have been kept relatively well. Unfortunately, with time and tide, they do get paint on them and stuff like that, but they're in the big tub, in the big green tub that says new black curtains that are off stage. So they are well kept. I'm just not sure, how many we have there. Number two is,
4 of those.
well, there's more than that of those that were purchased.
The really expensive ones, the really heavy ones.
Yeah, there's probably 8 or so, at least. Somebody just needs to count. As far as where to put them, we actually have now got room underneath the seating because we've cleaned all of that out. And there are places where the poles collapsed and the stanchions would fit in one of those sections. And therefore, if that section was reserved only for use for those poles, we could even put a tub in there probably for the curtains themselves. So we do have a storage place for it.
That's important, because I don't want more things taking up space that we don't have.
well, I thought we need 3. It says 60 feet, but Ken, you recommended 4?
I don't think it hurts to have 4.
That might be serious.
If 2 could fit across the back,
3, 4.
and then 1 for each side.
I would say 4 would be more practical, because then you're not stretching them always to that full 20, because the more you use it, the more the chances that it will blow.
Okay, any other questions?
I have none of them.
Okay, I motion that we purchase curtains because we'll probably need them soon.
Especially if we're leaving the setup for everything that we have going on for this season.
Yeah.
I guess I'll second that.
Okay, so Ed has motioned that we purchase 4 of these curtains that Ken has found. Randy has second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstain? All right, motion carried. Ken, do you want to purchase these?
To do that,
Thank you. All right, is there anything else that I left off the agenda?
Did you talk to?
Oh, I just wanted to mention, Nancy and I went through the music room.
I'm sorry, Holly, I missed that.
Nancy and I went through the music room. And, we found the Krumar, we found the, all the stuff from the traveling. Some of it would have to be tested, to see if it still worked. But there's one of two things we could do, either look at, if it was rentable or sellable, possibly, and or, maybe even usable at some point, because we do have microphones and we do have the old box that we used to carry, put microphones in. So a group of 4 could go somewhere if, or something on that order. Anyway, there's some options, maybe, I'm not sure what we want to do with that, but, there are some, we could either sell or rent, possibly.
I want to.
At some point in time, let's take them out and try them out. But, Nancy and I can do that.
Obviously, anybody who knows how to use the things would have to check them out. And,
Right.
I don't know how functional they would be for use for us, but I certainly wouldn't want to put us under the responsibility of renting them. Because that means
Okay.
somebody has to always be willing to be there to give them to the person, to bring it back in, to check on it, and as we well know, we don't have a lot of people that have available time.
Okay, well, it's just a thought that maybe, I know for a fact the Krumar, for those of you who aren't aware of what that is, it's a keyboard that plays bass notes, basically. When we would travel with music review, instead of having like a bass guitar or a string bass, we had the Krumar. And so a keyboard player could play, the bottom notes, just fill in, the rhythm pattern or whatever. Okay, and we have another keyboard as well, that it's a synthesizer, so it plays like the violin sounds and the extra sounds that way. So it's not doing any harm, but I think it'd be a good idea to have a listen see at some point. I can set them up. So anyway, just so we're aware that we do have, they used to use, if you didn't have any low brass at like the junior high level, Gary Stenson would always have an extra clarinet or a flute player who played the keyboard, and so then he'd have them play the bottom notes on the Krumar, and it blended in just fine.
And I will type up a list, an inventory of all the various things that we found in those music rooms, so at least we can know that item is there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So our next.
I have the mystery box in my garage. I have not punched the lock yet.
What?
We will see.
Well, one can only hope that there's money or jewels.
You never know, there's something.
Make a video.
In there. I will.
Make a video.
I have no idea.
What is this?
There's a mystery box that was labeled softball tournament
Yeah.
that I think was left over from stuff that the labor Central Labor Union left behind. It's locked, nobody has a key. And I,
Probably drink tickets in there.
It's heavy.
something really affordable.
It's heavy, well, it was in the desk, in the deepest part of the music room, in the bottom drawer. It's very heavy, so I thought that Ken had disappeared and maybe he'd gone, you know, on vacation or something. I haven't heard from him for a while.
Okay, so our next meeting is Monday, October 12th, and if there's nothing else, the meeting is adjourned.
All right,
Thank you guys for coming. Hey, Ken,
thank you.
Is it okay if we stay on here, the COVID people?
that's fine, Ken, I just have a question for you. Did you happen to get that check sent?
Oh, okay.
Some of this stuff.
Then